Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wake Up Poverty Inspires Me, the podcast. I want to take the time to say thank you for listening to my podcast. I would truly appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe. It feels weird to say that. This is the first time I've actually said that on my podcast. But, I mean, if I want to share my knowledge, if I want to share things that I've learned that I think can help enhance a person's life, then I got to say stuff like that. And you, as the listener, you can give that gift forward by living it, by practicing things, bettering yourself. Not bettering like me. It's not about being like anybody else, but being like yourself. I want you to think of a video game. You see, in life, we got to level up, man. Because if we don't level up, well, then it's game over. A lot of people walking around the world, and it's already game over, and they're 25. It's game over at 17. Game over mentality is when you just throw your hands up in the air and you blame everybody and the whole world and the government and Donald Trump and Joe Biden and everybody in the world is all the politicians' fault that your life sucks. Right? The politicians aren't fair. Corporate America's cutthroat. The laziest person gets the job while the hardest worker sits on the sidelines. So we could get this attitude that we should be okay somehow with this reality structure. But we're told to be open about our feelings and talk about it. And if you're a man and you need to cry, then cry and be open. And what? This is ridiculous. You might say, what are you talking about? What do you mean ridiculous? It's not ridiculous for somebody, a male, to be in his feelings and talk about life and how he feels. And I say it's fucking ridiculous. I want you to show. I'm just going to use a real simple example because we don't need to cry. We need to level up. We need to level up. People will say all the time. I hear guys say, die for mine. I will die for my kids. Yeah, really? Sounds like a coward way out. Sounds like a real fucking coward way out. I would live for mine. I will get better for mine. It's not selfish. It's selfless. There's a difference. So don't be afraid to take the risk of living for yours. Doing what you're supposed to do while you have the opportunity to do it. Don't be a living dead. So, without going on too much of a rampage, I want you to think about how would you level up? How does leveling up equivalent to your life right now? Well, what does level up mean? When I was a kid, one of the biggest gaming systems out there was Super Mario Brothers. And the game evolved to where Mario would grow big when he would eat mushrooms, and he would be able to sometimes just throw fire. Other versions of Mario was able to fly. He was a raccoon, and he could be all kinds of things. So his ability to level up was always equivalent to the type of enemies he would face in the next stage. And Mario needed to get more powerful because he was going to face bigger opposition, and the weaker Mario from the previous levels, he wouldn't be able to fare very well against this adversary. He would need to somehow level up. But if Mario was to go to the princess and start crying and talk about his feelings and why he can't level up and how he wishes that they would just make easier games or bend the rules or whatever the case may be, how long would it take Mario to level up? What happened to the character? Could he still have that big bushy mustache, that plumber hat, and that go-get-it attitude if he was on the couch crying to the princess about why he couldn't do it? Why he couldn't level up? What is the goal of the whole game of Mario be able to continually level up? Ultimately to fight the big bad guy and take the power that belongs to you in the kingdom. Oh, people would play real hard to get all the levels. People want cheat codes. They want to know how to get levels fast. There used to be this game called Contra, and I still remember the pattern. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select, start will give you unlimited infinity lives. And in Contra, where you got these bullets flying and you're jumping and you're just this little character, you need infinity lives because you're getting shot a lot. And if you weren't infinity lives all those times you'd be shot, you'd be dead. So in essence, you wanted the pain so you could continue to the level. But you needed a little cheat. You need a little code to help you get there. A little motivation. But this wasn't motivation. This was actual armor that would protect you and make you invincible. So motivation wouldn't last. It would be like the mushroom. It would fade once you got hit. So it had to be something more. Behind that, up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select, start. Somewhat of a pattern. A pattern of movement. Dun 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 dun. That's the pattern of the Super Mario theme song. Dun 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 dun. See, the patterns get repeated for the unawakened mind when we live our life without awareness to the repeating pattern of thought. You have to step up to the challenges of life. You got to go after them with everything you got until you got nothing left to give. And even when you don't, you still go. Do it selflessly, because you know when you're selfless, it gives back to others. Be disciplined, because you're not always going to feel like doing what you want. But you can make it happen through saying, I'm going to do it. I have a little app on my phone that my son introduced me to that I keep track of my chores. And one of my chores is to make this podcast. Take 10 minutes out of my day and give something back to the world that can add value to somebody's life. Does it matter if 2 people listen? Does it matter if the same person listens over and over? What does it matter? The only thing that matters is what matters to you. What you want in your life. But if you expect life to just open the golden gates for you and let you in without any struggle, without having to level up, without having to eat that mushroom, without having to get those shields, without having to use that cheat code, you're going to fall into patterns of repetitive action, and they may not serve your overall well-being or your future or your life. And if this is how you want to live, well, if you're aware of the pattern and you make that choice, then that's a choice you live with. But if you don't know that you're in a loop, then wake up to the loop and get out. Mentally, by adding discipline, doing things whether you feel like it or not. Finding the joy in the suffering, the pain in the growth, the confidence through the will to succeed against whatever odds are against you. And those odds are only what, self-made odds anyway? Because you're not going to be worrying about being unsuccessful or depressed or any kind of negative things if you're constantly defying the odds. How could it be possible for you not to level up? So don't think you can't level up because you're here or you live in this place or that place or you get paid this much. It doesn't fucking matter. Level the fuck up. It's a mindset. Anybody can do it. I'm not special. It's just a matter of how you see the world. It'll look at you back the same way. Go after what you want. Life's a simulation, like a game. One day it'll be game over. And when you're playing the game of life, play to fucking win. Think like a winner. It's not a bad thing to be successful. It's a bad thing to be unsuccessful, to be unhappy and to live miserably and sit in it without getting the value and the joy from it. If it's there, which it probably is, you have fuel, for your fire. Now burn that motherfucker down. Mentally step up to the challenge of your best self. And don't waste any more time to level up of what's possible for you. If I could do it, you can do it. Let's get it done together. Until next time, thank you for taking the time to listen to another episode of 10 Minutes of Wisdom of Wake Up Poverty Inspires Me, the podcast. I hope to inspire you to level up to the next stage of your greatness. Until next time, please like, subscribe, and share with other people who you think it'll help.